Where did the table come from?
Readjusted.
Hey, Judd, where did this table come from?
Where did the table come from?
Yeah.
It disappeared. I don't know. I mean, are you really wondering where it comes from?
I'm just curious, whose table is it?
This is a company called ISE.
So you brought it?
I brought it.
Okay, well, I want to know.
I was tired of not having enough tables, so I brought my own. Okay, today I'm going to talk about, obviously, sit-stand tables and why we should all consider maybe getting one for ourselves. Over the last 200 years, the way we work has changed dramatically. It used to be that we were mostly farmers or did jobs where you're up and around, moving around all the time, being cowboys or whatever it is that you're doing. And over the last 200 years, we have gradually moved to the point where we're working in offices, and now we're working predominantly with computers, and we're kind of tethered to our computers because that's where we're most efficient when we're working. And what that has done is that it has made us so we are sitting more than we ever have. And medical advisors and doctors have done studies that have looked into what it actually happens when we sit in a chair for a long period of time. And they've determined that it's extremely bad for your health. It does a number of things, like it helps contribute to heart disease, diabetes, circulation problems, and even cancer. And Dr. Friedman from the Mayo Clinic said that sitting is the new smoking. So how much of your day do you feel that you sit in a chair during your normal work day or when you're awake? You get up in the morning, you eat breakfast, you're sitting down. You drive to work, you're sitting down. You go into the office and you sit down for 6 or 8 hours or more. You drive home sitting down. You eat dinner sitting down. You watch TV while you're relaxing, get ready to go to bed. So a great deal of your time is spent sitting down. And the majority of that is actually from your work. They found that people normally sit about 7 hours at their work every day. And it's not good enough for you to work 7 or 8 hours a day and then jump in your car and run to the gym and work out, and you just don't recover from that by working out. It's something that actually, once you're doing it, it's bad for your health. Now, working at the gym is very good, does other things, but it does not eliminate a lot of the problems. The circulation problem is bad because when you're not getting good circulation, your body's not producing chemicals that you need to help digest the fats and the other things that you're eating, and it just kind of allows your fat just to deposit. People are getting obese. Lots of things that are happening that's a really, really bad thing. So they've determined that it's really better for people to either stand up or move around all day long, which is terrific, except none of us can do that. So they've looked at other kinds of ways you can do it. And for a long, long time, they've had standing tables. I think Ben Franklin had a standing table. So, it's not something new. And they said, that's better for you than sitting down all day long. So if you can have a desk that you can stand up and work, that's fine. Unfortunately, most of us can't stand 8 hours a day and work. You get tired, your back begins to hurt, your feet hurt, your legs hurt. So you've got other problems that are being caused by the standing. And about 15, 20 years ago, they developed the sitting and standing desks. And the original ones, you had a crank, and you cranked it about 100 times, and it gradually moved up. And then you cranked it and go back down. And it was such a pain that nobody ever did it. I mean, you moved it once to get there, and then if you moved it every 2 weeks, you were really being good on it. Mm-hmm. Then they came out with the electric tables, and the electric tables were really a great idea, like this one. Problem is that they were really expensive, and most people just couldn't afford them. In the last 10 years, there's been even more and more studies showing how bad it is for you to be sitting down. And a lot of the companies and even the governments have gotten into the fact of saying, we really need to have companies offer sit-stand tables for their people. In the EU, matter of fact, and in Australia, it's legislated that all companies must offer sitting stand options to their employees. So over in Europe, they've had sit-stand desks for quite a long period of time. Only in the last 5 years has it been very popular in the United States. With the increase in production and the increase in people knowing about it, they've become very, very popular. More and more people are buying them, and the prices come down pretty dramatically. This particular table is made in the United States with some Canadian products. I have some that are actually imported from China that are now really good. They weren't good originally, but they're really quite good now. And it works really, really well, and it's really simple for you to operate. Benefits of a sit-stand table, according to the doctors, is that you extend your life expectancy. Sitting, as I said, allows fat accumulation, goes into your heart, your liver, and your brain, and you can't get that out by exercising. So you want to avoid that if you possibly can. When you're standing up, you burn more calories than when you're sitting down. And it gives you better overall health. And it's also better ergonomics. What they've learned is that when you have a sit-stand table, if it's easy to get up and down, you can get the correct height. Look, you can get the correct height, and if you're standing up, you're moving around and doing all kinds of things that you wouldn't normally do when you're sitting down. And it allows you to move around more frequently, and you're getting much more exercise and more stimulation than you are when you're sitting down, even if you're standing up and going around and walking around every couple hours. The other thing that you can do, if you're really conscientious, is you can get a regular desk, and every 30 minutes you get up and you walk around for a little bit. But people just don't do that. And it's also not very efficient. So sit-stand tables are one of the things that really you should consider, because it's really very, very good. What they've said is, the doctor in the Mayo Clinic said that sit-stand tables make you feel better, and when you feel better, you work better, be more productive. This particular one has what they call a programmable remote, where you can actually program it so that it will automatically go up and hit 4 different positions. So you can have one button, hit a button, and it will go down to your normal desk height. Hit another button, it drops down a little bit so at keyboard height. Hit another button, and it will come up to standing height. So it's really, really easy to operate. It's very, very fast, very quiet. These are ones I sell are all double motor units. This particular one actually has Bosch motors made in Germany, so it's really, really a super high quality. And I don't know where these are programmed. It's not programmed someplace else.
Oh, my size.
Only got one programmed. But they come in all different sizes. These tables that actually are expandable. So you can buy one base. This has to be a 48-inch wide one. But if you say you buy 48 and all of a sudden you want to have a 72-inch long, you just buy it at the top. And the tops are really inexpensive. The bases are what really costs. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
So how much is that?
This particular, well, I have one that's very much like this particular one that I sell for a little under $700, like $695. Retail price is about $1,400. This particular table sells for $895, and has a 15-year guarantee on everything. The other one has a 7-year guarantee on everything, so a little different, but quite good still. And we've got a bunch of different colors.
How much does it weigh?
Very heavy. This particular this one weighs about 75, 80 pounds. The other thing that is very important for you to kind of look at when you're doing it is that all these different things come in a variety of different qualities. This particular one has a 350-pound capacity, so you could actually have a Frank sit on this table like you raise your lower. Not that you weigh 350 pounds.
And have a few pounds left over, right?
But they have some that are like, 100-pound capacity, and unfortunately the top weighs about 60 pounds, so there's almost nothing you can put on top of your desk and have it raise and lower. So if you have a printer or a computer or whatever, you need to have something that's going to be correct capacity. Any other questions? Oh, yes, Carl.
Is it true, have you heard that they're considering this for the classroom now?
Yes, they have them already. They have actually, I don't know if they have electric ones that you can get for classrooms, they're specifically made for that. But they have sit-stand desks that are being put into classes all the time now. And they found that they actually help autistic kids, because you can get them standing up and they, because they need to move around a lot, and that helps quite a bit. So we are using those. I've installed a big installation where people had L-return desks, and they just replaced the returns with sit-stand tables. So they have a pedestal, so you still have drawers, and the desk is still there, but they can hit a button that goes up and down, and they can use the return as a standing desk. Anything else?
Cool.
Yes, sir.
So would a good referral for you be a school district that is expanding and building a new school and/or that are expanding their special needs kids?
For me, that would not be a particularly good one. I don't sell a lot to schools. Schools are a very specialized part of the industry. Good lead for me would be any company that is a small to medium-sized company that is concerned about their employees and want to reduce their insurance costs, because when you reduce your people that are having claims, your costs will generally go down. I believe that's correct, is that right? Pretty much. Anyway, so you can do that, but that would be good for me, or anybody's expanding, or a new company. Tech companies are really into it because they know what they need.
Is it solar powered?
Not yet.
Well, it could be if there's a solar panel on the roof.
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be, but it takes a very little amount of electricity, by the way. It's very, very efficient. And the other thing that you can do is when you're sitting at your desk, generally your keyboard tray is not the correct height. You can have a keyboard tray, which is fine, but with this, you can just actually, by hitting a button just a little bit, lower your table, your main desk, so it's exactly the right height for your keyboard. So even if you don't, use it as much for the standing, it will create it for that also.
Are there USB plug-ins on it?
There are not, although I do have little modules that attach to it that give you additional power outlets and USB ports.
Does the top tilt?
This particular one does not with these. These particular ones have it, if you can't see too well, but it's a very heavy brace underneath there. There's no cross braces on the bottom that you bump your legs into, but it has a pretty heavy base up inside there, and it does not allow it to tilt. I have tilting tables, but these are not it. Okay, thank you very much.